Okay, so I think in the last lecture we have discussed how to implement the login and security into the ASP.NET, right? So basically, two type of authentication mode we have discussed, right? In the first authentication mode, what we are doing, the default authentication mode will be a Windows based, right? So here the default authentication mode, that is a Windows, right? And let in this case, what happened, your website is actually connected with your Windows user management system, right? And as we have discussed, this type of system will be useful, let if you are developing an application for a intranet kind of site, right? So intranet is somewhat, we can say, it's a small internet kind of thing where employee can exchange the mails with each other, employees can do the chat with each other, and there will be one website is there, and in that website which actually employees are actually recording their attendance and so on, but that will be within the premises, right? So intranet is nothing, it's a small internet kind of thing. Mail server will be there, your website is running, so obviously web server will be there, mail server will be there, right? So that thing all we are configuring into the local area network. So basically that website you can access within the premises, right, within the campus. Outside of that campus, obviously that particular website or application we cannot access. So if you are developing a such type of intranet kind of website, then this authentication mode called Windows are suitable. The another authentication mode is what? It is called a form based authentication, right? So in the form based authentication, the authentication mode will be a forms, right? And in that, let if you have a website, in that case the website is not actually connected with the Windows user mechanism, right? But rather than that, the website itself is actually maintaining one database for the user, right? So here there is no relation is there between the user of your website and user of a Windows, right? So normally, let's suppose if you have planned to make your website or on the internet, we can say, if you are making a website and if you want to host it on a internet, in that case obviously the authentication mode has to be forms. But let if you are developing the application and our target is just to deploy that application into a particular local area network, so in that case the authentication mode will be a Windows, right? So let if user logs into the Windows system, that means that person has also logged in to the website, right? Website do not ask them to enter the another username and another password, right? So basically this is the difference is there between the authentication mode Windows and forms. So we'll just start with the Visual Studio and we'll see how can we implement this thing. So right, so we'll just start a Visual Studio. And in this we can say we'll just create one website, new website. So file, new, we'll just create a new website. Obviously this will be an empty website, so I'm just taking empty website, and in this I am just adding a page. So this is my main page of the website, so I'm just saving it as a default.aspx. Okay, now in this particular website I just want to show the name of the user, right? So here what I will do is I'm just writing we can say welcome, and then I just want to show the name of the user. So here I'm taking a login name, right? If you want to show this user's name into the bold face, we just select a bold. Along with that, here what we are doing is we are just taking another control which is called login status, right? So login status, that is there are so many controls are there of the ASP.NET which are a template based. So this is again a template based control. See, it is showing a hyperlink kind of thing, and in that login word is written, and this will be shown to those user who are logged out user, right? So those user who has not actually done the login, so that is called a logged out user, or we can also say that type of users are anonymous user or visitor, right? So to the visitor, this link will show login, and that person who has already logs into the system, the person passed through the authentication process, the person has given a username and password. So for those user we are providing a link to a logout, right? So when the user is clicking on a logout, that user's session will be expired, right? Okay, so now if you run this, automatically it will fetch the username, right? And this username is nothing, actually it is a username of my Windows user. So here this is the name of my machine, and this is what it's the name of the user. I have logged in as a Kamesh user, because I have not changed my authentication mode for this particular website. So default authentication mode will be Windows, and this website is actually considering the Windows user as its own user, right? So once you logs into a Windows system, automatically you have also done a login into the website, right? Separate login, it's not required actually. And because you have already logs into the Windows system, so you have also logs into the website, and that's why it is showing a link for a logout. Okay, now you just close this. And suppose if you want to implement a website for the internet purpose, so we need to change this, right? We need to change the authentication mode from Windows to Forms, right? When you are taking a new website, whenever you are creating a new website, at that time default authentication mode will be a Windows, right? But we know that the Windows authentication mode will be useful if you are developing a website for an intranet purpose. If you want to host your website on an internet, then authentication mode has to be changed from Windows to Forms. And once we are doing this, once we are changing this authentication mode, then your website is maintaining its own users database, right? And it will be disconnected from the user management of the Windows. Fine. So for that purpose, what we need to do is, so I already in the last lecture I have shown this thing. You just have to open the configuration tool of the ASP.NET, right? So this is specifically for admin users, and not only admin user, because in the project, when we are making a project, at that time admin user will be the owner of the company, right? This is we can say admin, that admin who is actually maintaining your website, right? So this is for technical admin, we can say, right? So if you click here, one new website will be created, and if you are just clicking on this particular security tab, so it will show you the message. Fine, it is showing the message that the current authentication type is a Windows user management from within this tool, therefore disable. Fine. Now what we need to do is, we just have to change the authentication mode, right? Current our website's authentication mode is Windows, and we need to change it to Form. So what you need to do is, you just have to select this option, which is called select authentication type. Here two types are given, from the internet or from the local network, right? If you are selecting this from the local area network or from the local network, that means you are implementing a intranet site, right? And here the authentication mode will be Windows. But if you want to host that website on the internet, right, if you want to maintain a separate database for the user, so you need to change the authentication mode from Windows to Forms, right? So here you just select this from internet, right? So authentication mode will now change from Windows to Forms, and you just click on done, right? So now it is showing this thing, existing user 0, there is no user is there, right? Okay. And another thing, that is if you are going to the web config file, here this line will be returned automatically, that is authentication mode is a forms, right? Okay, now suppose if you run this, default.aspx, so at that time, now we have disconnected our website from a Windows user management system, right? So now your website is not showing the name of the user here, right? Because now our website is independent from the Windows, right? And yet we have not performed any kind of login. So this is showing what? Welcome, and then no username, or username is blank, right? Similarly, yet we have not performed a login, so here it is showing a login link, right? Okay, now the first thing is, sir, how can we design a login page? So fine, what will we do is we are just adding a new we can say page, and here we'll just rename this page as a login.aspx, and in this particular page you just have to place a login control, right? And here number of formats are there, right? So whatever format you like, you can apply this. Okay, and then again we are just going or moving back to the default.aspx, and you just run this website and see what happened. So it is showing welcome and no username, but if you click here on the login link, automatically your login page will be displayed, right? Okay, but the question is, how can we perform the login, because yet we have not created any user, right? So how can we create the user into this particular website? Fine, so for that, again I'll just open this ASP.NET configuration tool, and I will just go to the security. Okay, you can also click here, right, to expand the security tab. Then here the link is given, create user. So what you need to do is you just have to click here, create user, and I think in the last lecture we have done a detailed discussion on how to create the user, right? So I'm just creating ABC, right? Suppose if you are writing a password like this, ABC, and here suppose ABCD, so automatically it will gives you the message, the password and confirm password must match, right? So let's suppose if you write ABCD here, then email address, for example abc@hotmail.com, security question, for example what is your name, and as answer of this question I will just write my name. If you click on this create user button, still it will gives you the error message, because the password whatever we have kept here, right, in the password and confirm password field, they are actually not belongs to a strong password, right? So we just have to keep a strong password. So minimum length has to be of 7 letters, and one alphanumeric character has to be there, special character has to be there, and so on. So I am just keeping a password ABC123 and dollar. So special sign is there, alpha is there, and numerical is there, and the length is 7 or more, right? So that will be accepted by the system, right? Okay, and your user gets created. Fine, now we'll just go ahead with our website again. So go to the default page and run your default.aspx again. Now what you do is you just click on a login page, right? Now suppose if here I'm giving a wrong username, for example the username is ABC, but if I'm entering a wrong username, you just click on a login button. It is giving a message, your login attempt was not successful, please try again. Okay, another thing, let's suppose if I'm giving a correct username, but I'm entering a wrong password, so you just click on login button. Again it is showing your login attempt was not successful, please try again. Okay, but now suppose this time if I'm entering a correct password, automatically you will be redirected to the default.aspx, and default.aspx will show you the name of the user, as well as here the link for the logout will be automatically provided by the ASP.NET, right? If you click on a logout, right, again this will be the stage right? No username is there. Again, you can click on a login button, right? If you want to save your password into the cookies, you can do the tick mark here, remember me next time. So this login control will automatically set the cookies into your machine, and afterwards whenever user is entering a username, the password will be automatically fetched from the cookies, and user do not have to enter the password again and again, right? Okay, fine. So I think up to here whatever thing we have discussed, that is clear to all the students. Okay, now see, if any student is thinking, okay sir, this is a built-in control, can we change the look and layout of this particular control? Yes, there are so many things are given by the Microsoft, right? In the properties window. So if you want to change anything into this particular control, then you can do by using a properties. For example, in the login control here, the title strip is given, and in the title strip they have written login, right? And suppose if you want to, instead of login, if you want to show sign in, so what you need to do is you just go to the property, and here this title text is a login. Instead of that, you can change it to sign in, right? So now see, the login control is showing what? Sign in. Okay, similarly, suppose if user is directly clicking on a login button without using or without entering username and password, it is showing this message: username is required, right? If user has not entered a username as well as the password. So this is the message. If you want to change this message, you can change it from here. Okay, suppose if you think here the button is there, can we put a hyperlink instead of button, or can we put my image here, right? Because I'm having a good image for authentication purpose. So yes, you can do. How can we do this? So here this login button type. So here three types are there: button will be there, image will be there, and link will be there. So if you click on a link, so now see, instead of that push button, you can, or user can see here a hyperlink kind of thing, right? So after entering a username and password, if user is clicking on this hyperlink, then the login will be done, right? If you don't want to change it, if you are comfortable with the button, then you just keep a button here. Suppose sir, the text which is written on this button, that I want to change, then okay, then you can do. What you need to do is you just go ahead with the property, and here login button text, suppose instead of this login, if you want to change it to sign in, so you can do. See here on the button we are getting sign in. Similarly, the error messages, like right, just recently when I have entered the wrong password, at that time this message is given, that is, your login attempt was not successful, please try again later. Yeah, so see, this is what the message, right? So if you want to change this message, instead of that, if you want to show some another kind of message, for example invalid username or password or something like that, then you can change the text here. So if whenever user is entering a wrong password, at that time whatever message you have typed here, that will be displayed, right? So the control, it's not actually binding you in a limited boundary, right? Here the full freedom you have, so that you can customize, control your own way. You can change the background color, you can change the validation tags, you can change this login and sign in and all that, right? So everything is available here, right? You just need to go through properties of it. Okay, now I think some of the student is just thinking, sir, for the user creation purpose, you have actually access another website, and that is a administrative tool, right? But suppose let in the case of Facebook, or if you want to create a new Gmail account, in that case they are providing a link for the sign up or registration purpose. So let's suppose if you want to allow users so that he can or she can click on that registration link, and then he or she will fill the registration form, and then that user can log into the system. So yes, that we can do, right? So without going into this ASP.NET configuration tool, we can allow user so that he or she can register himself or herself into our website, and they can become a member or user of our website. So how can we do this? So okay, for that purpose what will we do is we are just inserting a new page, and obviously this will be a registration page, so registration.aspx, or you can also write like sign up. There is a difference is there between the sign up and sign in, right? I think you people are already aware with the what actually sign in is there and sign up is there, right? Sign up is a registration and sign in is a login process, right? So you just click on add button, and here what we need to do is we just have to put this thing that is called a create user wizard, right? So you just take a create user wizard, and here you just take any template, right? Similar to the login control, you can customize this particular control. You can change the background color, you can change the text which is written on the button or as well as the title, you can change the validation messages and all, right? For that what you need to do is you just have to go through a property window, right? Okay, so you just put this particular control, and then one property that you need to set, and that is called continue destination page URL, right? So here we have the property which is called continue destination page URL. So that this is actually a page where we want to redirect the user when user is completing his or her registration, right? So I just want to redirect the user on a default.aspx. So once user is completing the registration process, then I just want to redirect the user on the main or home page or default.aspx page, right? So this is the link you need to set. Now what we need to do is you just go to the login control, and here you just go to convert to template, and let after this sign in, right, you just press enter, and here you place a link button. Either you place a link button or you can also use a hyperlink control for this, right? So we'll take a link button. Oh, here, right, I need to place a link button. Similarly I'll just put another link button. So this is the another link. Right, another link button. Now what I will do is I will just change the text of the first link button. I'll simply write are you new user, question mark, click here. If you are a new user, then you just need to click here. And already we have discussed this link button control, right? So here the property that is called the postback URL. Whenever user is clicking on this link button, we just need to redirect the user on a signup.aspx page. So here I will just set the postback URL to a signup.aspx. Fine. Now we'll just go to a default.aspx and we'll just run our web page. So it is showing welcome ABC because last time we forgot to do the logout, right? Okay, so we'll just do the logout. You just click on a login button, so it is showing what the login control, and below the login control we have a two thing, right? Yet this link button obviously we will use, right? But currently this link button is enabled, right? So suppose if user is just clicking here, okay, what is the problem? We'll just see. What is the postback URL? Oh, there is no postback URL. just set a postback URL to the signup.aspx, right? Okay, now just go to the default.aspx. So welcome, no username, you just click on login button. Now you can log in as a ABC, but suppose if you don't have any username and password, and if you are just coming for the first time on this particular website, so at that time what user will do, user will simply click on this hyperlink that is called new user, click here, right? And oh, click on a save button, or another thing has to be there. Suppose if you have disabled the JavaScript, again your link button will not work, right? Okay, fine. So but now this time, if you click here on the new user, then the registration page will be automatically open. Now suppose this time I just want to create another user. For example, the new user is XYZ. I will just set the password, that is XYZ123 and dollar. The password will be XYZ123 and dollar, because suppose if you are not entering a password of we can say more than 7 letter, or if you have not used a alphanumeric and special symbol in the password, the same error message will be shown here, right? So similarly here you just type say xyz@gmail.com. you just say what is your favorite color, and here I will just type say okay, fine. So you just click on a create user button, and here it will show you the message your user account has been successfully created, and then it is showing a continue button. We have already set the property that is called on the click event of the continue button, destination page default.aspx has to be shown, right? So if user is just clicking on this continue button, at that time the user will be redirected to the default.aspx, right? So if you click on a continue button, automatically the user will be redirected to the default.aspx. and now here it is showing welcome and the name of the user, and it is showing because already you have logged in as a XYZ user, so here it is showing a link of a logout, right? So you just log out. Now you can log in by a two user. You can log in as either ABC, right? And here you have logged in as a ABC user, you log out, and again you can log in as a XYZ. So here you can use any username, because there are two users are there into our website, right? And let's suppose if you want to confirm, sir, really we have created a new user, right? Yes. If you want to confirm it, what you do is you just go to your administrative tools, and here it is showing what existing users. So there are two users are there, right? And if you are going into the security, if you click on a manage user, so here two users are there. One is a ABC user, second is a XYZ user. Now suppose if XYZ user is doing some malicious activity, and you just want to block this user, so at that time what you need to do is you don't need to delete this user, right? In fact you can delete the user, right? The link is given, but in that case what we are doing is we are just blocking the user. We don't want to delete that entire user, right? Blocking means what? User will be there, it's a username, password, and every information will be stored into the database, but we are disallowing user so that he can do a login, right? So what you need to do is here in the active column you just remove this check mark. So XYZ user is there, right? But that user will not allows you to log into your website, right? And suppose if you want to keep alive afterwards, suppose XYZ says sorry, now onwards I will not do such kind of malicious activity, so in that case you can activate the user like this. Fine. So this is the way you can manage the users. Okay, now the question I think will be arised into your mind, sir, where the ASP.NET is actually storing all this information, right? Where the ASP.NET is storing the username and password and first name and email address and all that thing. Fine, I'll show you. As I have already told you that currently we are using a forms based authentication, right? And in the forms based authentication, what happened? The website is not considering a Windows user as its own user, right? But instead of that, website is actually managing its own users management by a separate database, right? So one separate database will be there, and if you want to see that separate database, right, of the user, what you do is you just refresh your solution explorer, right? So once you refresh the solution explorer, there will be databases there, and you people are already aware with where actually the database has to be stored into the ASP.NET, right? We know that the database has to be stored into the app underscore data folder. So you just click on this app underscore data folder. So here one database will be created by the ASP.NET itself, right, by this ASP.NET configuration tool, and that is what ASP.NET-DB.MDF. So if you just do the double click on that, right, the database will get open into the server explorer, right? So here you have the server explorer, and in the server explorer, ASP.NET has created this much tables, right? Because the ASP.NET programmers has already written a code so that a normalized database will be generated, right, to manage the user. Fine. Now, sir, where are our users? Okay, so for that you just do the right click on ASP.NET underscore user table and click on a show table data. So once you are doing this, obviously we have created two users. So here in this table there are two rows are there. Your application IDs are there, user IDs are there, username you can get it from here, right? Then these are the thing. Mobile alias is anonymous, right? Anonymous, that's it is a visitor. And what is the last activity time and date, right? So last activity, date and time, and everything gets recorded by the ASP.NET. User last क्यारे login करियो to find logout क्यारे करियो, that every information will be recorded into this particular database, right? Now few students are just thinking, sir, you have shown the username, where is the password? We are interested to see the password. Where is the password? Okay, fine, I'll show you where actually the password has been stored. So you just click on this table which is called ASP.NET underscore membership table, and you just click on a show table data, right? So here you can get everything, right? Your user ID, you can get it from here. This is the password, right? This is the password salt, and this is the email address, this is the security question, and this is the security answer hint, right? Then it is approved, there is a lockout, right? On which date on time, what date and time you have created that user, what is the last login date and time, that everything, when the last password you have set, right? That everything, every information that you can get it from this particular table, right? And for that we haven't written a single line of code. Fine. Now few people or few students are just thinking, sir, how password to nato rakhyo tame? You told us that you have kept the password, it is ABCD123 but here you are showing something different, right? Obviously the password is ABC123 but it is actually stored in the database in the encrypted manner. And how can we decrypt this? By using this password salt, right? So with this key, this will be decrypted into ASP.NET ABC123 fine. So if anybody is hacking or this particular database, still that person will not be access what is there in the password field, because in the password field it is storing, ASP.NET is storing encrypted password, right? Okay, fine. So these are the tables which will be automatically created by the ASP.NET to maintain your users. Fine. Okay. Now the another thing is there, sir. In the login page, what you have done is you have kept another hyperlink. What is the purpose to take this hyperlink? Why you have placed this link button here? Okay, so I will show you. Usually internet that is accessible for all, right? Like suppose if we are talking about a programming language, obviously that will be done by a technical person who is knowing programming, right? So but the internet is, that will be accessible for all. The person who has done a BBA and MBA, they can also access this, we can say, internet, right? The person who is a commerce graduate, or we can say BCom student, that person can also access the internet platform, right? Doctors, engineers, everybody can access this internet platform. Now see, we can expect user has to memorize his or her password, right? And obviously as a being a technical person, we do not have to forget the password, right? But let's suppose if we are talking about other person who are not actually a technical person, so they might forget the password. So in that case, what we need to do is, I am just creating a web page, right? This is my web form, and here say, right, we are creating another page, and how the user can recover his or her forgotten password. So you just go to the toolbox, and here what we have is we need to put we can say password recovery, right? So this is what the control which is readily available for you, and this page you need to link up with a login page. So here what I will do is I'll just go to this particular, we can say, link button, and I will just change the text, let forgot password. Don't worry, you just click here, and then what we need to do is you just need to click on a postback URL property, and you have to link we can say our this forgot pass.aspx page. Fine. Okay, now you just save the web page and you just run it again. So you just go to the default.aspx. But one more thing, how the password forgot password we can say process will be handled by the ASP.NET. So here whenever user is clicking on that link, right, link button, forgot password, at that time the ASP.NET will redirect the user on this particular page, right? Now here what user has to do, user has to enter his or her username. So according to the username, we have created two users, one is ABC, second is a XYZ, and in both the cases I have entered a separate security question, right? In the case of ABC, the security question was what is your name. In the case of XYZ, what is the security we can say question, it was what is your favorite color, right? So it will ask, depends on the username, it will ask a security question, and user need to answer it. If suppose user is giving a correct answer, at that time ASP.NET will reset the password. ASP.NET will choose a random password for that account, and ASP.NET will send that new password in the mail account of that user. Whenever we are creating the new user, at that time it is asking to enter email address, right? So on that email address ASP.NET will send a new password. So obviously here we need to do a mail to that user, right? And for that purpose, if whenever you want to send a mail, I've already explained that thing, you need to install a SMTP server. So you have to install a SMTP server, right? And you need to connect that SMTP server with the internet, and the IP address of that, we can say, SMTP server, you have to enter it over here, right? You just need to go to the application, then you need to click on a configure SMTP email setting. Then here you just have to enter the we can say SMTP server's IP address, port number of that server. Here you just have to enter your email address, right? સામેવાળાને મેલ જશે ને કે તમારો પાસવર્ડ રીસેટ થઈ ગયો છે, this is the password. તો કે કોનાથી મેલ આવ્યો, તો એમાં 2, right? टूनी अंदर this email address will be shown, right? So this is what the thing you can use it. Let's suppose if you don't have this SMTP and all, you can also use SMTP services of the Gmail, right? So you just search it on a Google, right? SMTP services, server name and port number, right, from the Google, and you will get what is the name of the server and what will be the port number on which the Google is running its SMTP service, that you need to type it over here. Fine. See, in currently my machine I don't have that SMTP, right? I am not running a SMTP service in my machine, so obviously I can't show you this thing. But what I can show you, you just gone through the default page. Suppose you know what is the password of ABC. I already told you that that is ABC123, right? Sorry, ABC123 Now suppose if you just click on login button, you just click on a forgot password, you just enter ABC, right? Click on a submit button. It is showing what is your name. Okay, fine. Now I'm just changing this. Instead of this ABC, now I am typing XYZ, right? Okay, XYZ. You just click on submit button. Now the security question gets changed. It is showing what is your favorite color. Let if you enter that correct, we can say security answer, in that case the password of XYZ will be resetted by the ASP.NET, but afterwards ASP.NET will try to send this password through the mail, but I have entered a wrong email address as well as I have not configured the SMTP, so now it will give the error message. Fine, that is because of we have not configured SMTP. Okay, fine. But what you can do is you can test it out now. You just run the, we can say, default.aspx and try to do the login of that XYZ user, XYZ, and then XYZ123, right? It won't allow you, right? You might think, sir, can sacho to password na kyo? You have entered the correct password, then why this doesn't allows you to log in? That is just because of have completed half of the process, right, of the forgot password. So ASP.NET has resetted the password of this XYZ user, but unfortunately because of we have not set the SMTP settings into our website, due to that reason it fails to send a new password, but the password of XYZ that gets changed, right? Okay, fine. So this is how can you perform a forgot password, right? Okay, so I think in my today's session, because time is already up, so in today's session I think this much things are sufficient, right? In the next session we will discuss few more things. How can we grouping, right? How can we make a group, and how can we manage the roles, as well as how can we secure our website,